Good evening and welcome. I'm Haley Mylon.
I'm Jeff Harris.
And this is the Delmarva Sports Insider.
Coming up on tonight's episode, the Shorebirds look to keep their winning streak alive this week, hosting the Hagerstown Suns in a 4-game series, which kicked off on Monday night. We have full highlights from the series coming your way in just a bit.
And still ahead, the Orioles, they're very much looking forward to starting fresh in the month of July. They really need a clean slate, Jeff. We dive into their ups and downs over the past few weeks. Coming on up.
And coming up, the Shakedown in D-Town, Delmar, that is, shook up the Delaware International Speedway last night. Highlights, interviews, and much more coming your way in just a few.
No speeding, right?
Yeah.
No speeding for Jeff.
Not for me. I don't know about you.
Keep it under 100, right? A lot of exciting events happening around the Eastern Shore, including the Andre Collins All-Star Game currently underway down the street at James M. Bennett High School. Trayvon Miles, he's live inside the gym. Apparently he's not hooping it up. Trey, how are things going so far?
Obviously, and Delmarva as well, welcome. Obviously not in the studio today, a lot going on behind me. We are here at Bennett High School for the first annual Andre Collins Celebrity Basketball Game. A lot going on right now. I'll step back a little bit. As you can see, Andre Collins, the head coach of James M. Bennett High School and an overseas celebrity, if you will. We've had him on the show. He's a very good friend of the show. We also got a bunch of people here. Mike Vick is supposed to make an appearance here in the building. Ben Tate, a Shore legend as well. The Sacramento Kings, Dante Green is over in the corner. We got a bunch of local legends. Casey Morton from Ardella, Eddie Miller from Pocomoke, Jamar Smith of the San Antonio Spurs, Landon Milburn of Stephen Decatur. Mayor Jake Day is also in the house. We've also got recording artist Aaron Camper and Young Swag in the building. So as you can see, a lot going on. What you see right now is Aaron's two 15-year-old and 16-year-old AAU teams going at it, and a lot of action going on. But as I said, when they get done, you will see a bunch of celebs here and a lot of action going on. As I said, the Aaron Camper Celebrity Classic, so much fun right now. If you're not here right now, pack your stuff up, keep your set on DSI, and make sure you get down here to James M. Bennett High School. We'll have a later update in the show, but right now I'm kicking it back to the studio. Jeff and Haley.
So Trey's having a pretty good evening amongst all that star power, and he's being humble because he's not admitting that Trey himself is a legend and kind of he played with the Globetrotters, played for the Waihai Indians. I feel like there's a lot of celebrity and a lot of fame in that gym, but that's going to be a fun evening.
I think a lot of people are pointing at Trayvon and saying, why aren't you on the court, mentioning yourself amongst some of these celebrities as well.
We'd get a layup from him maybe. His dunking days are probably over. But let's go to high school hoops because these kids can probably hang on the rim a little bit. The Maryland Supreme League continued this week, and it's been a lot of fun all summer. And here we go. Off the missed 3 ball, we got the Beach Boys taking on Snow Hill. Amonte Allen Haynes on in the air for the put-back bucket. Then Nick Kalem, he fades away and puts down a real smooth 15-foot jumper. Yeah, very pretty. Then Devin Perry, other side, drives into the lane. Through traffic, he finishes for a strong 2 there. Beach Boys leading 20-15 at the half. Then watch out, Zaire Johnson. Really, really tough defense. He converts that to an easy bucket on the other side. Curtis Blake then cruises through the defense, pulls off this insane 360 finish. Snow Hill winning 52-49. And Jeff, I have a feeling we're going to see that play again coming up.
Yeah, I think so. And something really interesting about this game was that it was actually a 2-point game with about 1.6 seconds left. And you could just tell inside the gymnasium, all the parents, all the other players, some players waiting to play in the next round of games. Everybody was really excited to see, what the end result was going to be, but also just really excited for this summer league as it's really starting to kick into full gear right now.
High-paced game. A lot of, I wouldn't say physicality, but guys really, really giving 110%, not laying off the throttle, even though it is the off season. So that's what you want to see. They're giving us a good show.
I think so. And we had another game. Unfortunately, Tuesday night featured only 2 games as both the later matchups were postponed. But nonetheless, play must go on. Court 2 featured some of the best names from this league this summer. Team Chaos and Caesar's Pizza. It was all chaos from the get-go. Devontae Dixon, the easy lay-in off the break. Then Jaden Baker going to cut and find a wide-open Matt Lowe underneath for 2. Baker, though, not done yet. He's going to find himself out in the open court all alone. He finishes on the left side. Team Chaos led by just 2 at the half, though. Second half now, check out the drive and acrobatic lay-in from Laquan Pettit. And then we're going to see Pettit again. Shows off his quick hands in the backcourt, steals this one and lays it in. Team Chaos extending their lead in the second half. They win it big, 49-34. And possibly hinting a little bit, we're going to see Laquan Pettit a little bit later in the show as well. But again, a great matchup for this summer for both Team Chaos and Caesars Pizza. It's just great to see some of these teams out in the summer getting some time to play.
And so we're at about the midway point in the summer and seeing these guys really polished off. I mean, we're not seeing them in mid-season form per se, but seeing them performing like this and, you know, pulling out the 360 spin move, John Wall. Little rough, yeah, John Wall-esque, I would say so. He's going to get that big contract extension, Pettit, I would say. But seeing these guys in mid-season form or close to it in the middle of the summer, pretty cool. So this league is definitely benefiting a lot of folks. All right, so we're going to switch gears, no pun intended.
Great matchup between the two. And, you know, it was really competitive, Haley, and that's something that was great as well because the competitiveness, the hustle, everything that you're seeing from some of these players in this summer league is just fantastic. And it's just really, really nice to see all these kids getting out in the summer.
Right, absolutely. All right, so this week, one of the biggest weeks for racing fans on the shore. It was really exciting. Daddy Dave and Kai Kelly of the Discovery Bio show Street Outlaws, they were in Del Mar at the US 13 Dragway to take on local racers from the 302 Nation. The event kicked off at 4 p.m. A big crowd. Now, although the underdogs were facing some of the best competition in the world ahead of the race, they really were not too intimidated. They weren't going to back down.
First, to have them come here. Second, to say, hey, we'll take on your 2 locals. That for us is huge. For our fans, I think that's what makes it all, because they make it possible. I think our 302 Nation has got something for them. Those guys are fast, but we've probably got 2 of the fastest cars here on the shore.
I think all Dave's going to see his taillights Friday night. They are some nice-looking LED taillights, though.
I think their motto, if you ain't first, you're last.
I think so. That's Ricky Bobby said that, right?
I think you can attribute that to the great Ricky Bobby.
We're not going to see any of Ricky Bobby in this one. So we saw some of the pregame festivities before the race last night, but what about the main event, Haley? Some of the baddest and fastest made their way to the US 13 Dragway for the second round of the Shakedown in D-Town, which proved to be everything and a little bit more.
Wow,
fans from all over the Eastern Shore packed into the Delaware International Speedway in Del Mar to witness some of the fastest cars race against one another for hours upon hours. Hot and humid day as dozens of cars inched up to the starting line and rode the 1/8 of a mile down the racetrack. Cars, motorcycles, even ATVs all took part in the festivities yesterday afternoon, leading up to the big event yesterday evening. We see many made the trip, and they really wanted to see 2 of the biggest stars from the hit TV show Street Outlaws, Daddy Dave and Kai Kelly, race against 2 of the area's top drivers. Daddy Dave took on Dale Collins Jr. in the first race, which we're seeing right there, while in the second race, Steve Drummond was taking on Kai Kelly, and to the satisfaction of almost everyone in the crowd, both the local guys, Haley, Collins and Drummond, took home their respective victories in the first 2 of those races. So I think that, you know, of course, I mean, it was good for them. It was a great event.
Yeah.
The crowds, as we saw, were packed. If you were down there, so it's about 20 minutes, about 9 miles up the road from our studios. Not only were the bleachers filled.
Stands looked like a party.
The parking lot was a party as well. You could just walk around, or I did walk around that area, and you could just see the excitement from all of the fans across the area. Everyone knew who Daddy Dave was. Everyone knew who Kai Kelly was. Of course, with Dale Collins Jr. and Steve Drummond, local racers, everyone knew them as well. But it was just such an exciting event when you talk to everybody amongst the crowd, and they would know exactly what's going on, when the race is kicking off, and of course, they want to know. I'm going to give a shout out to everybody there. They wanted to know when it's airing on our airwaves as well.
The race culture here on the shore, really strong. And I have a feeling that after those losses, Daddy Dave and Kai Kelly just sped on out of here, 0 to 60 real fast. They didn't want to be on the shore anymore. All right, that will do it for our racing for now. Sadly, we're going to speed on out of this block. But coming up, the Shorebirds look to improve their winning streak to to 5 games as they opened a 4-game series with the Hagerstown Suns earlier this week. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
My name is Paige Blyer, and I'm the pitcher from Cambridge South Dorchester High School, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.